Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, and it's July 10th, 1:40 p.m, the District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Apollo, I can't believe it. It really happened during the second act? Trucy, if I'm being completely honest with you, right? This has been the craziest time I've had in an Ace Attorney case in a long time, and honestly, it's probably, yes, but it's probably going to be something that's going to be kind of, difficult to prove, and it's probably going to be the least of our worries going forward. I'm right in the middle of Labradore's performance. The reason why she was in that air vent, and that switch, and the flaming guitar. When you link it all together, that's what you end up with. I knew you had what it took. Nice of you to show up, my boy. Ah, Daddy. Mr. Wright, you believed in me? Not really. No, come on. No, please believe in me. I just thought that'd make a cooler entrance and say, hiya. Why do you even bother hoping? Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Yeah, you have a daughter, dude. Sorry about that, Trucy. I'm on a secret mission. Secret? You mean like you're undercover? Like Mr. DeTaus, only shorter and not as well dressed? Jesus. Oh no, what if you're shot too, Daddy? Would I do a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm off for a while again. You're not gonna stay around? You're leaving? Oh, one thing before I go. What? Good luck. You know what, Phoenix? That might do. That might help us through this whole trial. Right. Is that all you came to say? I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Maki Tobe off the hook, no doubt. It's nice to have Phoenix believe in us. It is nice to have him have belief in us, to be honest. Yeah, but you're after that detective, aren't you? Darian Crescend. It won't be easy proving he did it, especially not under the current court system. The current court system? What did Prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based on the one fragile assumption, just like his is. Namely, that our diva divine is telling the truth. But all the proof, the brooch and the switch, a piece of jewelry and a lyrical blunder? There are plenty of other ways to explain these things, the flame guitar too. All because you lack definitive proof of their connection to the case. Factually so, his case is flimsier than mine. I pray to the Lord above, I pray to Edgeworth, wherever he is, that they bring up the fact that he could not carry a body. I pray that they bring it up. At least bring up the fact that the recoil would have hurt him real bad. But if the sultry songstress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind the faintly singed scent of failure. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck. Literally, in 2 seconds, if we brought up the fact that this was that the recoil would have damaged the shoulder, what would the defense be? Oh, Air Forehead, you forget one thing. He probably had a gun shoulder pad on. That does make sense. Okay, the court that's what it feels like sometimes. I'll be like, here's some evidence. And Gavin's like, actually, this can be explained if you just twirl around 3 times and slap the table. The prosecution brings up a good point. And beware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Okay. Oh, and that reminds me, it makes sense because nothing about this trial has been conventional. I will say as well, though, I think it's 100% intentional in a lot of trials that it feels like the judge and the prosecution is against you at the same time because they want you to do an uphill battle. I have something to give you from our detective friend. Detective Sky? Emma? Let's see, this bag of snacks here was meant for me. Oh, cool. And here it is. What is that? What are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysis of the fragments revealed the traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar like that, the ones that our kids are into these days. A firecracker. And it was found at the scene? These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. See, this is genuinely why I wanted to drag everyone into the scene and just point stuff out. What's this? What's this? What's this? What do you think this is? What's that? Like, you know what I mean? This would have helped so much. Onto the sofa. Hey, Apollo. That's where we found that little device thingy. Did we not find... Oh, that device thingy. I thought you should talk about the switch. Right, this. Well, finding some evidence that makes sense. So found at the crime scene, bearing gunpowder residue, possibly a firecracker. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that what... Yeah. That's what made the gun sounds. That's what made the gun sounds. Phoenix, you just won the whole case for us. That's all for me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Maybe? You have a daughter, dude. This girl's like what? This girl's 15? She's 15. Okay? You still need to take care of her legally. Legally, come back. Okay? Or else I'll be seeing you in court. Right. Every man has an igniter inside of him. Excuse me? Find Darian Crescend's igniter and set it off. So this is something Phoenix would do all the time. Just ignite something off in people. And he walked out the door just like a magician normally. What does he want us to do? No unconventional methods? What does that mean? I guess we just have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when the time comes. I guess. We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy. July 10th, 1:55 p.m. District Court. Courtroom number 3. Honestly, I have mixed feelings about this just because I'm having the time of my life, even though it's crazy. Even though this is one of the absolute bat poop insane trials I've ever been a part of, I'm still having a lot of fun. So like I'm okay with that, right? You know what I mean? Like I'm always like that when it comes to Ace Attorney trials. It's like I will get stressed and I will complain about it, like, but I feel like that's like what's fun about it. For me, like I have so much fun when I'm playing these games and I'm shouting at the prosecution going, shut up. It's fun for me. And like, I think you guys are expressing that that's fun for you too, because it is a fun thing to do, because there is supposed to be like some like frustration in these games. It's supposed to make you go like, what the hell? No. It's fun for me. It's really fun. Just the way, like, Pokemon brings out the competitive side of me, Ace Attorney brings out the, like, actual, like, the comedy straight man side of me, where I'm trying my best to, like, prove stuff right and things, you know? Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where's the Detective Crescend? In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time. Very well. Might I add, I don't believe any of this. He, Darian, was the first detective I ever worked with. See, that's what we call in the business a bias, and... Like, and here's the thing, I want to defeat Clavier here again, so like we can say we defeated him twice, but also at the same time, maybe it would be better if we got a different prosecution, because it seems like you were very, already from the start, I think Clavier Gavin was really involved with this, because he was friends with Lamaroa and invited her over. He was the one who invited her over. But then again, you know, I trust that he will do the right thing in the end. I do. We stopped working together when he moved to the Criminal Affairs Division 3. But his guitar playing, it fires my imagination. That's nice, but it has not to do with the matter at hand. I love how Apollo just does matter-of-fact things sometimes, and that's what separates him from Phoenix. We love Phoenix to death. He's one of my favorite characters and one of the greatest protagonists in video game history. Mark my words, I will say that anytime you need me to say that. If you need a sound clip of that, take it out there. But Apollo is like way more like confident and way more like, you know, matter-of-fact about things. Correct?
Oh, I know. Forehead.
Very well, call the final witness to the stand. Detective Darian Crescend.
What's his name? Darian Crescend. What's that pun there? Darian Crescend, like a crescendo or something?
Name and occupation, please.
Darian Crescend, Detective, Criminal Affairs Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division for those who don't know. And I'm a guitarist for the Gaviniers. Maybe you've heard of us?
Do you fully understand the circumstances of which you stand before us today?
Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You give me your word I wouldn't be standing here.
You should never give anyone your word of that.
The situation's changed, Darian. And don't call me partner.
Heh. So much for old friends.
I see what you're doing, Darian. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial? Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. Again, that's the thing. Apollo asking for the trial to begin. It's such a difference, and it's not better or worse. It's just different.
You may begin with your response to Labrador's testimony, if in fact you have anything to say about it.
I got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Virginia. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice.
Okay, bro. We'll see. We'll see what happens now. Now I'm determined.
Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing. So we were handed the burnt fragments of a freaking firecracker. It has to have something to do with the gunshots. It has to. Darian's rebuttal. The diva's lying, plain and simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots as if. Didn't Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway?
Phoenix just handed us a gotcha moment. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. Thank you.
The shooting took place when I was on stage, man.
So you claim Elmo's testimony was a lie?
Hey, don't get me wrong. I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. And she's got the court eating vague statements out of her hand just because she's blind.
You go too far, Darian. Yeah, he does. He definitely do. He definitely went too far there.
Look, all I'm saying is, you got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective?
Detective Sky? I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
He didn't waste any time finding her weak spot. I can't do this with Lamoureux's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place.
There we go. Like, again, they do walk you towards the answers. They didn't do this as much in Phoenix, right? At least, especially in the later trials. But I'm not... Okay, I know what we're presenting anyway. You're donezo. You're donezo. Put him in jail. Put Darian in jail. Do we have them here? We have them here, don't we? Should we examine them as well, or are we just going to do this? Yeah, that works. Oh, we got our life back as well. Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial.
What things?
The first was this. A small device.
That remote-triggered igniter.
Correct. And one more thing.
What are those? The remains of something burnt? Not another guitar, I hope.
Traces of gunpowder were found in these fragments. We have a report that it was something like a firecracker.
How did Gavin know about this?
What, you think Detective Sky works for you? I received the report this morning before coming here.
I love that in this trial it's very fair because like they always let us both know the evidence before we go into it, all of the evidence, and Gavin's never hidden evidence from us whatsoever. I'm so glad that this trial does that. Thank you so much, Gavin.
That's when I made my decision, actually.
Oh, what decision?
Yeah, what decision, Prosecutor Gavin?
I registered Darian as a witness in today's trial, just in case.
Okay. Okay, so what he's saying is like the truth is more important. Okay, we get this. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set. Could have been two firecrackers rigged to go off by remote control. Oh, it's not a jumpsuit? I thought it was a jumpsuit he was wearing.
You got an active imagination, don't you? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a bit too convenient to me.
Everything about this trial has been convenience. How so?
So you're saying these firecrackers just happened to go off? Right when two witnesses came walking by?
That's right. Trucy, please.
Darian was on stage when it happened, Apollo. How would he know someone was backstage right then? If a firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one to hear, you get my drift? Why go through the trouble, man?
Oh, that hair is... Wait, it's like has a mind of its own.
Ugh.
How do I explain this?
He may not look it, but Darian is a gifted detective. Show any weakness and he's sure to find it.
He may not look it, partner. Gee, thanks, man.
That reminds me. I happened to pass through the very hallway several times that day myself, and I saw something odd there just before the third set.
Something odd?
A headset. The kind all of the band and staff members are wearing.
That's right. We picked this up in front of the door of that dressing room.
What if the headset wasn't dropped but placed? And what if it was turned on?
You could hear what was going on in the hallway, even if you were on stage.
Good man, Gavin. Good man.
Heh. Whose side are you on, Gavin?
Listen to me, Darian. There are no sides in a court of law,
Yes, Javier.
which is why I now turn to you, Air Forehead. I have a question for you.
For me?
The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime. It's certainly a possibility that they were part of the ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the headsets from the hallway into the mix. And you could fabricate an alibi. But we're still no closer to proving anything.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to talk about this in a second. Those gunshots might have been real or fake. We can't say. Again, I think that we should have, like, this should be a two-way street. The fact is, the vent thing to me is still all... You can't prove he was in the vent. Oh, no, they dusted for prints, didn't they? Did they? It's been so long now.
You've raised the possibility that the shots are heard.
Well, there always, like, there also is, like, him just saying that there was just a possibility that, that he, carried the body away, too.
Now you need to prove the other half of the case.
The other half?
Look, I'll just tell him. He wants you to prove the thing went down in the second act, while a little piano player was on stage. That's right, Gavin?
Indeed. If you can't prove that, then to continue this cross-examination will be pointless.
Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove the crime took place during the second set?
Yeah, I think. You better know, Apollo, otherwise we're through. It can be proven.
So do we have to, like, to prove that it happened during the set? Like, what can we do out of these things? So it's like, okay, again, the process of elimination is pretty important here. No, obviously no. Obviously no. Obviously no. Obviously no. Obviously no. That's a 2% maybe. Obviously no. 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 Because these wouldn't prove that a sound went off. That's the thing. The only thing that would have to do with the sound is the mixing board. Could we, if he's spoken to his mic, could we hear him say something through the mic? Or is that just, maybe that's just for the guitars? Yeah, I'm okay with the mixing board.
You make it sound like something else was going to come along and do it for you.
Dude.
Let's continue with the cross-examination then, shall we?
Oh, so they're gonna change it. This isn't gonna be easy. I thought they were gonna have to present something there. I need some bit decisive proof and fast.
You ready, Kate? Aye, Captain, because I am. The shooting took place during the second set. If you're so sure, let's see your proof.
Let's try soundboard. I think it's the only thing that has to do with actually the sound of things. Yeah, that's fine. It seemed there was clear proof left behind, right here in Lamaroa's song. Her song?
What exactly is this device thingy? A new variety of gramophone, perhaps?
Come on, we just used this. Don't get me started on gramophone. This device was used to record the performance part by part.
You move the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately, Lamaroa's voice included.
Oh ho, but what does this prove?
According to Lamaroa's testimony, at the moment of the shooting, she forgot the words to the song.
You intend to examine the recording at that moment, yeah?
We might even hear those gunshots.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. How are you supposed to hear gunshots in the back in that dressing room on stage?
Have you forgotten, Darian? We were all wearing these headsets.
Oh.
We were all deeply involved in our performance. But Lamaroa's headset would have picked up what she heard all the same.
Then let's get to analyzing that recording. Right now.
Lamora stopped singing when she heard the shots fired. Oh, it's a choice. Well, find that spot and we'll find the gunshots. So when she... Okay. Hold on a second. So, let's play. Oh, we have to present? This is it. That's the moment. That's the moment. So do we go? Hold on a second. Let's. Did you hear that? Take that. That's awesome. Your Honor, listen closely to this part. That is awesome to be able to do that. That's really fun. This is the track with Lamadoro's vocals. When you stole away the keys, my heart held on to so tight. Okay, you tell him, Lamadora. Stole away those keys.
Why is it sounded like a gunshot?
What? This has to be some kind of mistake.
I believe a case has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set. Which means Lamaroa's testimony was true.
Ah.
Order! So she was telling the truth about what she heard?
It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Lataus.
Well, what did she say? What did he say?
It's over. Press the switch now. So that was a signal, I guess, is what we're getting in here. Just after that, there was a gunshot, and then the guitar caught on fire.
Detective Crescend, you weren't on stage during the second set. You could have done it.
Oh, Jesus, man, get him.
But why did we only hear one gunshot on the recording? Were 2 bullets fired from this weapon?
Lamador was moving through the air vent, Your Honor. She must not have been close enough to hear for her mic to catch the first shot. But then as she passed over that dressing room, so she was still singing in the vent, and she heard it. The gun fired again, and Mr. Lataus' life was taken. Well, Detective Crescent?
Once again, I'm reminded of something. Our performance that day.
Your performance?
Seeing the mixing board jogged my memory. You were there too, Air Forehead.
What is with it today? Oh, yes. Do you remember when he was out at sync?
Problem after problem. Achoo. My hog won't start. My guitar case is busted. My guitar's been burnt to a crisp, and on top of it all, someone's dead. And then there's that performance just now.
What was that all about?
This part is off. Which is that, Second guitar?
Ah!
It was you, Darian. I thought it strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you. I know how you play. You're better than that.
Yeah, will I?
You what? And the prosecutor Gavin, what are you getting at?
I'm talking about the murder weapon, Mr. Lataus' 45 caliber hand cannon. As we've learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscarred with a revolver that size. The kickback is enough to dislocate your shoulder if you're an amateur.
Wait, you mean his playing was affected because he hurt himself shooting that revolver?
Ha! You're forgetting something.
Yes, Detective Crescent?
I'm a trained police officer, you know. I have had firearms training, plenty of it. I'm no amateur.
The standard sidearm issued to police officers is a 38 caliber weapon. A much tamer beast. Also, the murder weapon belonged to a victim, Mr. Lataus.
I love that Gavin, Gavin is not a bad dude. He's not a bad person. He just needs to stay away from Trucy.
It suggests there was a struggle between the killer and the victim.
So, the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly fired. Is that what you mean?
The thought had occurred to me, yes.
So, well, does the witness have anything to say? So let me get this straight. We're bringing up for a police officer that it would have hurt his shoulder, but not the piano player who is a child. Let me get this straight for a second. You were bringing up to the police officer who has had gun training that even with this gun it would not have worked. But you had no problem incriminating a 14-year-old boy that is maybe 5 stone if you soaked him to the bone and put a towel on him that was drenched.
Detective Crescend?
What I want to ask is what Mr. Slade's rolled up ready for action has to say. Are you attorney? Me? Exactly which piece of your evidence is decisive again? You got a little noise on the tape, could be anything. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Could be anything when it's convenient for you guys. Yep.
And you've alleged a guitar cue missed do a 45 caliber cue.
That was him. I don't care about that. I literally could not give a damn about that part.
I'll wait for this case, Gavin. I really do.
That part, I don't even care about. That part, you can move on from that if you want.
You can line up your little weak pieces of evidence all you want on and shoot that manager. And that's the obvious truth.
The witness has a point. The defense arguments, while persuasive, are not decisive. I believe we should hear what the witness has to say in response to the case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Crescend. Tell us your reasons why you couldn't have done it.
Come on, why do you even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy, I got no motive, man.
Okay.
This was the diva's first trip to the country, right? How could I possibly know a manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him?
A simple reason indeed. Prosecutor Gavin, is it the case that Mr. House has not been to our country before?
According to our records, yes, not even once.
I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Great, now you find a motive.
Come on, why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy, I got no motive, man.
I mean, okay, first of all, I'm going to press this because the only thing we can think of as a motive is like the exact reason why this whole thing is happening, which is like the incurable disease, right? But is it better to do it... How could I possibly know our manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? Yeah, so there's two signs here. So we might press both of them just to see if there's any... If Trucy brings something up, just so we don't mess up our little thing here. Because that's what I was thinking, like that's what he wants. But that's the same for Maki. No motive has proven. Exactly. Come on, he traveled around the world with that old thought. Okay, how's that a motive? He had plenty of time to come up with a motive of his own. Okay, that's again not evidence. Why are you earning for?
More than I sure did. I mean, think about it. This was the diva's first trip to the country, right? How could I possibly know a manager?
Press this as well. So you didn't fraternize with him at all during the concert?
Fraternize? Ha! I don't think we exchanged a single word.
As if anyone wanted to talk to that old Eastern blockhead. Jesus, dude, calm the hell down. You know, you're backed into a corner. You don't understand, you start, like, being mean. Meanie bobini over here.
Now the ladies, that's a different matter altogether.
So you see. So you just wanted to talk to him because he was whatever. You know what? I say we press the egg. I say we present the egg on this statement here. I say we do it. That's the motive. This is your motivation. This is why you wanted it. Your Honor, take a look at this.
What's that? Oh, looks like candy.
It's not. Don't lick it, please. Detective Crescend, ever since seen this?
Looks like a piece of candy.
By the way, I love Apollo's design so much. What it is evidence. Don't lick it before you try it. That's a great line. Well done, Apollo. We beat them. Specifically, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found amongst the victim's belongings.
A cocoon? Never seen one of that color.
It is a variety only found in the Republic of Virginia. Nowhere else.
Alright, but what does the cocoon replica doing in my courtroom? Surely this has nothing to do with the motive for killing Mr. Lighthouse, does it?
It does. Wait. I mean, I think it does. Oh, dude. You don't sound so confident, man.
A cocoon? Is it one of those silky cocoons? The kind that you can make, well, silk out of?
Not this one. This cocoon makes a powerful curative.
A curative for what?
Apparently, it is most efficacious at treating a disease thought incurable. It is the only medicine of its kind. However, it is illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Virginia.
Whatever for? It is such a miracle cure, why not share it with the world?
Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. Good God, you sure see.
We looked into the matter at some length. Apparently, it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy from the cocoon. Yet if you change the process only slightly, you can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. A deadly poison, in fact.
What?
There was an incident several years ago where some of these got into the black market. It caused quite a commotion in the global community, though the media was kept largely unaware.
Intriguing.
All this led to a strict ban on cocoon export, one rigidly enforced by the Interpol among others.
Interpol?
Right. The victim Romain Lataus was an Interpol agent. Detective Crescend, you insist on referring him to as a manager, but that is misleading. Yeah, intentionally misleading. Romain Lataus wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent. So I was trying to smuggle this gumball into the country? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm saying that could well be a motive for murder. I was going to sell on the black market and make myself a pretty penny? Ridiculous. I mean, totally unthinkable. Unthinkable, you say? Why?
Perhaps it's time for another testimony about this smuggling of cocoons business.
Maybe so. Wow, we're going testimony after testimony really fast. Okay. International Affairs got a memo about these cocoons. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. Can't sell them on the black market, too dangerous. Yeah, cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Didn't we not find something... Did we not read something earlier about like this being actually pretty... It was like something about like being actually very profitable. It was here, wasn't it? Yeah. No. Or was it this? I don't think maybe we read it on being very profitable. Maybe I'm just thinking that because... there's a case in the country now. Well, look, we'll see how it goes. Maybe that's all. I thought we were talking about being profitable. Maybe it was maybe Gavin said it, or Mr. Gavin said it. Man, I'm in international affairs. I know the deal.
Indeed. Interpol wanted these cocoons bad enough to send Mr. House undercover. You kids think up the craziest things.
But no way am I going to risk my life and limb just to get my hands on some dirty cocoon money.
Not the most noble of statements, but duly noted.
According to the reports, these cocoon top Interpol's list. Selling them in an undercover organization would be risky.
Very well, you may begin the cross-examination.
This is the only motive I've got. He was up to something, and I'm gonna find out what. Okay, I'm not sure like what we can do here. Like again, we could say that like there's a case of like incuritis in here, but from the Chief Justice, it is needed here in the country. International Affairs got a memo about these cocoons. What was the memo? I guess we could ask. That memo. That's how you knew about the cocoons. Oh, nice one, nice one. I'm running scared now. You had to know about the cocoons to plan this.
Just how well known are these cocoons? I'm embarrassed to admit, but I've never heard of them.
It's not embarrassing, dude. Like, sometimes you just don't know shit. Like, I wouldn't know this stuff either. Well, Lamador knew about them, though not their use.
My reports indicate that there are ongoing efforts to control information about the cocoons. Most people only know they're illegal to export, that's all.
Then I've nothing to be embarrassed about after all.
Yeah, you don't.
At all.
You could say people like me who know about them are the minority, yeah? Well, that includes everyone in international affairs, man. And everyone in Interpol too, for that matter. Yeah. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. So, can't some... let's talk with this. Dangerous? Yeah, Interpol finds you, they arrest you on the spot. Another marketeer might think you're part of a sting to take you out himself. Times have changed. Okay, there wasn't much from that. Ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Yeah, I'm just gonna press a few of these statements. But wouldn't scarcity drive up the prices? Yeah, and attention. Every gangster and his brother will want a piece of that action. They turn your forehead into Swiss cheese before you can say objection.
Maybe we'll get them to cut his hair too.
Who's on trial here again? Yeah, no, it's not my hair. And there's nothing wrong with Apollo's hair is lovely. Man, you so obviously know nothing about the market. And that's a bad thing? Don't even try to mess with me out this stuff. Jesus, dude. Man, I'm in the international affairs. I know the deal. I guess we can press this too. Which is why you know how to find a loophole in the system.
Hey, you can say what you want about me, but back off the international affairs. There ain't no loopholes, okay?
What do you think we are? Boy Scouts? That wasn't what I was trying to... Oh god, you thought I meant actual loopholes.
Down, Darian. It is as you say. There are no loopholes, at least in the case of these cocoons. International Affairs, Interpol, and Borginian Customs are all watching.
See, we know what we're doing. Not like some yipping little doggies that lap up every word that Davis says.
See, this is how I know he's like so freaking guilty, right? Because he has gone from being like, oh, the lovely ladies, to like sitting here like insulting her. This is such like a deflection method, right? Of when you were like totally in the wrong, you insult someone else and you try to make everyone else feel like the other person. And like the thing is, like, this stuff kind of like sometimes does work. If you're confident enough and you say like the biggest example I can give is like if you're in a court case, if you're in a court case, and if you're sitting there in the trial and you act calm as heck, you act cool as a cucumber, and every time they ask a question about the person who's like up against you, like say that it's a bank robbery or something, and they said they saw you can be like, it's about the witness. You go like, really? That witness? I don't know. That witness is maybe having a bad day, and you start making like a few jokes or whatever, like and things like that. Like it does sway like the jury a little bit. Like they I think they found it, but like the jury will be kind of like, oh man, he's so calm, he's so collected, he's so confident about this. You know what I mean? So like the deflections actually could work in some cases. Why I oughta? Oh, he said why I oughta. What year is this? I love it though. Oughta what? You want some of this? I think, no offense, buddy, just judging by your demeanor, the way you talk about La Moroa and the way you dress, your hair, I mean, it screams you're trying to get attention, which makes me feel like all of this is just a bunch of bark. I 100% think Trucy could take you outside, no problem, and slap you around the place. I really think Trucy could honestly, like, bait the head off you.
Chill, both of you. Let's do this cool, yeah?
Screw cool. I want this guy's head on a stick. Yes, Apollo. Yes! I love it. The replica has to be the key to this motive. There's got to be a way to find out what he was up to. Any help from Trucy? No help from Trucy. I guess we could then present the newspaper. Because then, like, I guess, like, because usually like, Trucy would be like, maybe you could try this, but Trucy's not even getting it. So which one are we going to present it on? One of these. You can smuggle anything exactly lucrative anymore, or can't sell them on the black market, too dangerous. I guess this one, because we can say that the Chief Justice wanted one. Is that a good idea?
We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah, works. Great. Why not choose a less dangerous buyer then? Yeah, there we go. I would. Maybe it's just because they're showing off his arms, right? Like, they're arms that you want to hold you, right? And I feel like if we're talking about like actual court cases here, the example I would give is that his arms are nice. And, you know, what was I talking about again? Oh, newspaper. You take this. How clueless are you? Everyone in the market's dangerous. The second they found out I was a cop, I could kiss my keister goodbye. Why sell to a black market buyer? How about someone like this? I love when he does this. He's like, yeah, what about this?
That article. That's about the Chief Justice's.
A deadly poison can be extracted from the cocoon. But so can a cure. And not a cure for just any disease. A cure for incuritis.
Incuritis? I've heard of that somewhere.
He went to visit a victim deceased this morning. Oh, the judge is like so gone. Like he's so dopey. But we respect him. Do we? Who knows? We respect his like dopiness. I love a good dopey person.
Why, that's the disease the Chief Justice's son has.
But honestly, he frustrates me a lot too. Like, I love him as a character now because he's been with us for so long, but he still like annoys the heck out of me most days.
You aren't saying...
Our witness is a detective. He would have contact with the Chief Justice.
You are saying... The Chief Justice would never deal in the contraband.
Not even to save his own son's life. If it was my family member, I would contraband 52 times a week to save them. If it was my family member that I loved, I would contraband every day. I would contraband 12 times a day.
But even if the deal went through,
why it'd be an international scandal. And I think it is like, I don't know, like if it's just like an Irish thing. Like I think it's all like family's such a like family's. I'm not saying family's an Irish thing, but like one of the thing is like, you know, like which I always grew up with, like with my family. It's not just an Irish thing; it's a worldwide thing. I think everyone can relate to this in some way. Maybe they can. Some people don't have a great family, but my family has always been a thing of like, no matter what, we stick by each other. You know what I mean? We will stick by each other. So like, and it's also like no matter what, we'll protect each other. And so there's this kind of this thing where it's like, I would like, you know, I would definitely like, you know, would I commit a crime for my sister? Maybe. I'm not saying it on camera anyway. That's the Detective Crescend's insurance. If word ever got out, the one with his neck, okay, what do you say? Because they skipped that themselves. The one with the neck on his line would be the Chief Justice.
Detective Crescend, is this true?
First I'm a murderer, now I'm a smuggler. How many crimes are you trying to pin on me anyway? So this again, this is the thing he's doing. It's a strategy. It's trying to make us look dumb. It's like trying to be casual about it, trying to be funny about it.
Distasteful as it is to think about the Chief Justice if the Chief Justice were the buyer, why would a seller couldn't hope for a better deal? A very cowardly seller.
Don't let slaves over there trick you. So I made a deal with the Chief Justice. Where's your proof? Well, oh God. Oh yeah, and you're forgetting one important thing. Do tell. Interpol isn't the only ones out here there watching this. Virginian Customs barely sleeps. They're so worried about cocoons getting out.
So we were informed. Let's continue with the cross-examination.
Virginian Customs is very thorough and everything gets checked. We know this is not true. Right? We know this is not true. Because this definitely was not checked. There's a freaking igniter in there. This would not get through customs. I think they mentioned that he had his own special connections that got this through the customs. Yeah, bro. Actually, there is one way. I am putting as much pressure on these guys as possible because they have slapped me around the place figuratively for this whole trial. I am putting as much pressure as possible on these guys. Whoa! One way to get something out of the country, no checks.
What is it?
You become a prosecutor.
A prosecutor? I don't believe it.
Oh yeah, because it's evidence. He used the evidence thing to get out here. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was that you told me yesterday at your office?
It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting a woman like Amaroa.
How did it end up here?
I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made it a present of it.
So the guitar is from Virginia?
That it is. We couldn't carry it on the planes. Changes in the air pressure and humidity ruined the wood. So we vacuumed and packed it in the Lamaroa studio. I used a special shipping service available to me for transporting evidence. They brought it right up to my office with me.
I remember we were talking about how this seems a bit unethical.
Pristine and untouched.
Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched?
So good. So good. Quite. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets of vacuum packed in Virginia. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert.
Are you saying the guitar was... With cocoon... You use... Okay, what do you keep skipping it really fast. With cocoons this small, it would be very easy to use a guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. What? Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin, that guitar had some work done to it recently, right?
Work?
Good memory, Air Forehead. Well, you know guitars have a round hole in the front? It is called a sound hole. Well, they found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort. Yes, a broken device. Yes, this, in fact.
An igniter!
Exactly. Consider this if you will. What if the igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean?
He means this, of course.
Ah!
There was a way to get to the cocoon out of the country. They could use the picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. Oh, is that hitting you? Is that hitting you? And who better do that to someone access? Like a member of the band. Yeah, we got, oh, look at you now, look at you now. Look at the floppy hair going down now. Cool boots.
Order, order, order! So the igniter.
Was placed in there for a clear reason, it seems.
It was a safety precaution.
A precaution?
Oh, here for it. At last, it all comes together.
Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Maestro, the gentle sounds of Lamoro battle, if you please. Wait, what? Huh?
First, my keys were stolen.
Yes, we know this. I think we know this, right?
Which forced me to break the lock of my guitar case, yeah.
The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. Okay, now I understand why we're doing this. Okay. Well done.
I see.
But the thing is, it didn't go so well. The smuggler wasn't counting a guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near that case. Unwrapping the guitar would be raised too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler.
What's that?
Mr. Litthouse.
Ah, Mr. Taus, an undercover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He'd only have to check the shipping records. So Mr. Litthouse tried to examine the guitar himself.
If the cocoon were confiscated, then the gig would have been up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was to get rid of the whole lot. It's over. Press the switch so to burn it all. The guitar burst into flames, so that's why. I haven't actually seen this scene before. What was it? It's a performance? Cool. And then Mr. Litthouse died.
With Lamoro there to witness it.
There's your case. Doesn't feel airtight though, does it? It doesn't feel airtight. Not yet. It doesn't feel tight. Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't feel as like, oh, I gotcha as much as other cases is. Brilliant, man.
Detective Crescend?
I gotta know, you make all that up on the fly? Yes, I did, in fact, make it up on the fly. What you gonna do about it?
For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense, Darian.
The Republic of Virginia? Sorry, member, I haven't even been there.
True, you haven't.
Let's see you make up a story for that then, kid. How to hide the cocoon in the first place, huh? It's not so hard to imagine. You had help, a Virginian accomplice. That's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Lamoro heard proves it. It's over, press the switch. So who's the accomplice? You made the transmission from backstage. Who's the accomplice?
While your co-conspirator was on the stage.
No! The only people who were on I'm sorry, but this is upsetting me. The only people who were on stage were Maki, Lamoroa, and Gavin, and the drummer, wasn't it? And I think, and the bass player, was it? I remember that was a scene. But the only named people on stage at that moment were Maki, Lamoroa, and Clavier. So they're saying Maki or Lamoroa, but I'm thinking they're saying Maki. This is so bad though, because I wanted Maki to have a clean cut case. I wanted him to be so scot-free because he's been so bullied throughout this entire case.
But who was it?
This is it, the coup de grace. The coup de grace, sorry. And for one, I know what I'm doing. For once, I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped him. No, I wanted it to be so clean cut. Let's hear Mr. Justice who I want us to say then, but be warned. With a great accusation comes a great responsibility. Make up your answer on the fly and as it were, and you'll be harshly penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who was the smuggler and accomplice? I wanted him so badly to have a clean cut case. so badly. There's only one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice. And that person is the defendant, Maki Tobey.
But, Mr. Justice, he's your client.
A defense attorney accusing his client, that's a new one.
I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I'm here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Lataus. And I stand by my statement earlier, that he is innocent of that particular crime.
Indeed, the defendant is Borginian. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. But what if it was, in fact, Lamaroa?
It couldn't have been.
Will you seem sure of yourself?
The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor.
Electronic signals?
Recall this remote only works of a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless.
Yes, that's true.
Now think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lamaroa was in the air vent, right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area that the remote control could reach from the air vent.
Well, looking at this, it seems that Lamaroa still could have done the deed.
No. When the shooter made that transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It wasn't in the middle of the guitar serenade. She was on a scissor lift. It was much more than 30 feet. Part of the stage was raised, yes. Prosecutor Gavin and Lamaroa's stand were in the air. They were on a tower which happens to be 15 feet. In other words, the remote control couldn't have worked from Lamaroa's position in the air vent. Well, Detective Crescend, what do you say to that? Well, here's the thing. At least Maki's crime isn't that bad. Smuggling is so different from murder. Your Honor? Yes, Detective? Could we see the video where the Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time? We've seen it about 52 times. If you want to see it again, we can do it.
Well, I don't see why not. I love it.
What? Don't tell me he has a way out of this. Let me sing along. Pleasure, but a fleeting melody. It wraps itself around me. And now, through the air, I fly. Too bad, so sad, punk. Too bad, so sad. Punk? First you were sleeves, now then kid, now punk. So I'm the sleeves kid punk. I'll take it. You lose a rank fast, Apollo. Tracy, please.
What exactly are we supposed to see in this video?
The problem isn't what we see, correct, Darian?
Right, it's what you hear. We are musicians after all.
Care to explain for us non-musicians?
Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yarn straight first. You're saying I ordered the wee pianist to set off that igniter. That's that right?
Yes.
Well, in order to do that, we'd have to press the switch. Am I right? Okay. We'll take another listen. Pay attention to the piano. Piano? I haven't actually seen this video before. Interesting. It's all new.
What seems to be the problem there? The piano sounded just fine.
And that's the problem. Oh, you still don't get it? Yeah, how's he supposed to hit the switch if he's playing? You've got a problem, Miss Diva. The guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was the Diva. Lamaroa. But according to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out. If they couldn't even press the switch. Why didn't he play? He played the song with the piano, but didn't show us what the piano sounded like when the thing actually went up in flames. Why didn't he do that? Why didn't he do that? Okay, I haven't seen this video before, so let's check this out. Okay. So they're going up in a scissor lift. That's interesting. Okay. The piano plays non-stop. Wait, show me what happens when the guitar goes on flames. Show me what happens. He couldn't have pressed that switch.
Well, Mr. Justice, piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire.
Let's isolate it. Let's isolate it on the freaking thing. Let's isolate it. It's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Apollo, were you wrong? And Trucy, listen now, okay? I adore you. You're the best. You're my favorite person in the whole entire world, Trucy. I wish you talked more during this trial even, but I have to believe I'm not wrong. I can't be wrong. Yes, everything makes perfect sense. How could it all just...
Strange.
What's strange?
No, it's just something's odd about the performance there.
Odd? So it is. And he noticed something odd about the performance area. Earlier, when the guitar was out of tempo, we're going to find something odd about the piano. Let's go.
If Moggy didn't press that switch, then he could not have been the accomplice you claim he is.
But everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice. You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire, but the penis didn't press that switch. In other words, your story is full of owls.
Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on the matter now. Was the defendant Moggy to be an accomplice? Your answer will reflect on everything you said here. Give it some thought.
Apollo, if Monkey's not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He was the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He'd have to press that switch. Well, you better find a way to prove it. Ugh. Yeah, I think we should isolate it. What do I do? There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. And yes, Gavin did say this. I'm going crazy. Something odd. Wait a second. What? You thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now?
Strange.
What was strange?
No, it's just something odd about the performance there.
Yes. Not much to go on, but it's all I got. What exactly did you hear that was odd?
Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this. Can you prove that Moggy Bay pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Moggy Bay pressed that switch?
I can prove it. Let's go. I don't know if you call this proof per se, but I can prove it was possible.
Then as a prosecutor, it falls on me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Forehead, you sure about this?
Accept it. There's no evidence, man.
I'm ready for this.
Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice. I want you to base your claim the defendant pressed that switch.
Let's present this evidence. Let's present this. The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor. Oh, for the soul. What about music? My heart is pounding, man. I need to get Maki Debate not killed. Let's listen to the piano part around the same time as the switch was pressed, right before the guitar burst into flame. So here we go again. So it's kind of sad they're not letting me isolate it, isn't it? I'd rather isolate it myself.
I hear piano being played.
But doesn't it sound kind of simple? So it's not as, like, intricate.
I think I know what he's suggesting.
Of course Gavin would know this as well.
You think Maki could have played that part with one hand?
One hand?
He only needed one hand to press that switch. He could have played the piano with the other. Ha, so what, you're some kind of piano savant? Actually no.
Then what do you know?
You can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Wait, I know. Trucy. Wait, I know. Hey, Trucy. Yeah, perfect. Yes, Apollo. Yeah, you got something? Mr. Wright, your father, he's a pianist. Could he...
Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands. So sorry, so sad for you.
Oh my god, I want to put him in prison. I want him gone. No, not really. Huh? That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way.
Man, how are you going to prove whether he played it with one hand or two? You can't. I admit it will be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely he was playing with one hand. How do you know that? The clue is what the prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song. No way.
Oh my god, he knows it too, Well, it seems we've come to a moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing something with one hand.
Oh, we do get to do it ourselves.
Right before the guitar burst into flame.
Maki was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire. And one section of the song proves it. Let's go. This is really fun. Let's go. Okay, so play. So which... Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Can I skip it back here for a second? I'm trying to notice the differences. Okay, I think the first part's a little bit different, isn't it? Listen. Yes, it is. Okay, let's listen to that part here. Look, listen. It gets much, much simpler. Easily the first part, right? Easily. Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you realize by now just what it was that sounded odd to you.
I'm sure you've realized it yourself, A4Ed. Oh, this is kind of sick, the two of them together doing this.
Realize what?
I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to that part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to about a fleeting melody phrase. So now we have to listen to the song. Oh, I haven't seen this video yet. Yeah. So it sounds like he started playing with one hand and left out some of the like, kind of like melodic tones part of the piano playing. Man, how many times do you have to listen to the same thing? You brought it up like 52 times, brother. It was you. You're right. Enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we?
Another section?
The guitar bursts into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot in the first verse. Pay attention to that ode, that night in your embrace. Yeah. Man, I haven't seen this video yet. This is new. So she puts her hand out. That's different. Did you hear that? I kind of heard it, but it took me a few listens.
They feel the same, true. But they're clearly very different.
Yep. What? Well put, Your Honor. That's exactly the way you put it. And I think it's a great way for the judge to actually put it that way. It feels... They're exactly the same, but they feel different. The phrase in verse 2, it's quite simple. But the same phrase in verse 1 is a high and low notes. You'd have to use 2 hands to play that for sure. Good man. Our boy. Our boy.
Ah. What's that prove?
I wouldn't think you know that by now.
This is what I hate doing with amateurs, man. So the 2 verses are different arrangements. Happens all the time.
Not this time, Darian. There's no point in changing an arrangement if you can't hear it clearly. And that wasn't the point. I had him play specifically so the piano would stay in the background.
Oh! Oh!
That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different, I asked myself.
Ask yourself why Maki changed how he played, and how there's only one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch.
Oh.
There we go. We have him. Well, again, it doesn't feel completely airtight yet, but I feel like we're kind of getting there, to be honest. But that happens honestly, it's probably the craziest trial we've been in so far, in terms of just everything always changing constantly.
I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, quite. Though personally this comes as a terrible disappointment.
Yes, because it's a loss and it's your friend. I think the friend is probably the biggest thing as well. I never noticed the tone of the pocket on his jacket. It's actually very nice. What? No comeback? I can't believe it. I finally did it. I shut him up. That's what we've been wanting to do for a while.
Very well, barring an objection for the prosecution, I will now state the courtroom's opinion on this matter.
I don't think we have enough to say he murdered someone yet, though, Ray? Do we? Is there enough evidence to say he killed someone? There's evidence to say he had a plot, for sure, so I guess that's the evidence. He had a plot to steal it, so I guess there is motivation, I guess, now. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Okay, I should keep my mouth shut.
Good show, Sleeves. Now, great show.
Don't call him Sleeves. Look, he's already sweating. It's not over. I don't like when he looks so happy.
You tell Gavin, tell him what's so disappointing.
Personally, I'm terribly disappointed in you, Forehead.
Don't you start this. Don't you start this with me. Because I will put you in the ground. Trucy, get him. Huh? Me?
Yes, don't get me wrong, your case is solid. The facts all check out, but even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence.
I hate that I agreed with him 2 minutes ago, because now I want to disagree. Yeah, but the facts. Anyone could see it was him. He has motivation, true, but I just don't think it's enough to put him away in prison. I don't think it's enough to give him the old death penalty, you know what I mean? I don't think it's enough to give him the old chair. If I'm being honest with you guys, I keep moving my head back and forth when I'm doing that.
Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. It cut it 2 seconds ago for me, but now it doesn't.
But
1,000 facts might point towards the same conclusion, but without decisive evidence, it's not proof. Now, I was going to commit Maki Debay to be a murderer and commit him to death to go back to Virginia prison yesterday, but we don't talk about the past. This is a courtroom. We talk about the future. Right? Am I right, guys? Am I right? Please, someone say I'm right. We don't talk about Maki Debay. That's the rule under our current legal system.
I don't believe it.
It does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present.
Oh, I think if he did, we'd already have seen it a long ways back.
It is unfortunate, but at present, this court is unable to acknowledge your accusation. But, without any decisive evidence, we will put Maki Debay to death. Let's go.
What? What? Legit, it doesn't, it's, I'm just gonna be, again, completely honest with this and completely open with this. It's complete and utter tripe. The fact that they are willing to put a 14-year-old kid to death, and he will die. He will die. They're willing to put him away for murder, and to charge him with murder, and to put him down for murder so quickly. It was within 5 minutes of the first trial, the first time we were in here, that he was going to be put to death. Well, technically, they weren't putting him to death, but they were charging him for murder and finding him guilty of murder. But now we have more evidence than there ever was pointing towards Darian than there was towards Maki. And for some gosh darn reason, it's not enough. but it was enough for Maki to put him away. You have to see my point in this, guys, right? You have to see where I'm kind of like, I understand that that's the way of the game, that they're trying to stack it up against you, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that as if the game is unfair. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I think this judge is a quack, but we know he was. We knew he was crazy since the start. Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals?
Get him, Apollo! Yes!
True! Apollo, remember what Daddy said?
It won't be easy proving what he did, especially not under this current court system. So he's saying that, so what do I do? Like I said, good luck. And beware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Ugh. Every man has an igniter inside him. Find Darian Crescend's igniter and set it off. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think he just meant a weak spot, no? That kind of thing that signal spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion. I won't be able to press him further by conventional means. I've got to find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal. So can I get back to work now or what? So it's cool that we're using the advice from Phoenix, and Phoenix knows all about this type of stuff because he's been in trials where it's been totally unfair, and he has like come back to unconventional means, so he's like giving actual real advice with this. It may look like I've got a lot of time on my hands, but I've got no more time to play pretend with this deadweight attorney. Okay, hold on a second. Clavier may be wrong a lot of the time, but he's not deadweight. He's actually a really good singer. He's a good guitar player, so like, don't be calling him that.
Well, Mr. Justice, we've come to this far without decisive evidence. Let's put the 14-year-old into prison. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go.
Every man has an igniter. What? Oh, yeah, that's what he said. Huh? Didn't you say the better guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin?
Ah, yes, good guitars are kept dry is why. That provides the best sound.
Even small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning. What? Fighting time, justice, if you blow this one. Fighting time, justice, if you blow this one. He'll be out of your hands for good, and they'll put a 14-year-old in prison with no evidence. Go for it, Apollo.
What? And this igniter is supposed to come burn me up?
It's almost poetic there, Mr. Attorney.
All the better, I'm rather fond of poetry, and I tend to hear this one through to the very end. Forehead, you are accusing this man in Darian Crescend of 2 crimes. Being stupid and being a poopy. There we go. The murder of Mr. Lithouse and the smuggling of a Virginia cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case.
This trial has already run on for too long.
Mr. Judge, shush.
Shush. Be quiet.
It's not too long. It's 2 days for a murder trial. It hasn't even been a full 6 hours total in the courtroom. Here's the tip. If you don't like things to go on for too long, get a job as a speedrunner. Go on Twitch. Be a speedrunner.
Mr. Justice, will be my last warning.
What are you warning me about? What are you warning me about? Come on. Come on, what are you warning me about? Come on. What are you warning me about?
The one with this igniter turns out to be a dud.
Oh yeah, come on. Come on, tell me. Come on, tell me. In this moment, this ends the cross-examination. Oh, great. Does it? Does it, sir? Go on. Okay, that's fine. Understood? Understood. I'm understood, sir. Thank you. Go off. Oh my god, I'm so frustrated with him. My head is pounding. Yes, Your Honor. Then let's have it. Oh my god, I've never been that frustrated. It's just always like, this has gone on for too long. It's a murder case. It's a murder case.
Show us the basis for these accusations against Darian Crescend.
Okay, this is really my last chance. The key that will take apart Darian Crescend's plan is present evidence or call a witness. I don't think we have any evidence. I don't think we have any evidence that can because we presented everything at this stage. We have presented everything.
We have literally presented everything. So I guess call a witness, I guess. Your niter isn't a piece of evidence. So what is? It is true that I could have showed decisive evidence. Oh, and like we could call... Oh, yes. Now that we know that he was an accomplice, we can maybe try and get like Maki out of this. Oh my god, Judge, this case has gone on for too long.
Gonna bring Maki in and get him done in. He done.
But perhaps what I needed to prove in my case was something else.
You mean a witness?
Yeah, I do mean a witness, actually. Thank you. Proving his guilt. We don't finish your sentences. Stop that, please. Proving his guilt is a tall order. But I've got just the person to do it.
Very well, Mr. Justice.
Who is this person that proves Darian Crescend's guilt? Judge, if you could not talk to me, Trucy, tell him that it's going to be Maki Tobe. Tell him it's going to be Maki Tobe. Thank you.
Your client? Again?
Yes, it's a murder trial. I can call in 2 people. Maki Tobe was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darian Crescend could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that the one who plotted to smuggle that cocoon is the real criminal in this case. Exactly.
How so?
Trucy, get him. It would require just one of the very cocoons Mr. Lataus was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Virginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue would no doubt also find inside the burnt out guitar.
Very scientific of you.
Same. Thus, if Maki Tobe acknowledges his agreement with Darian Crescend concerning the attempted smuggling of Virginia cocoon, the case is solved. But what about his death? He doesn't want to die. Darian's laughing again. Your unrelenting passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to. Why not? The little key tickler won't acknowledge anything, especially not anything to do with cocoon smuggling.
What's this all about?
You see, Judge, in this trial, the one that you were proceeding over, we already found out that a death penalty is imposed on someone who smuggles in cocoons.
Taking cocoon out of the country means death. By Virginian law.
Ah. Yeah, see? If our penis really was a smuggler, then testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking. But you're wrong, Detective Crescend. What? It's the other way around. If Maki doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble. Oh my god, no way. Are they... This whole time, like, we would have making him immune? He wouldn't have been able to be deported? That would have changed everything from the start. We could have... Why didn't we say this to Maki from the start? Because why he's saying is he's in deep trouble here is because the death penalty is sometimes imposed here and sometimes it's also... I think it is, right? Maybe I'm wrong. But also, there's also the case of going to prison for life. He's saying if he doesn't say this now, he's going to prison for life in America, Japan. Why didn't we just say this to Maki at the start? Why did we do that to Maki? Hold on. Why didn't we just say that to Maki at the start?
Unless this could be something different. It could be something different.
Huh? How? Look, if Maki admits to smuggling here, then he'd be tried in our courts by our laws. Why didn't we say this from the start? Why didn't we... This is the whole reason Maki wouldn't even talk. This is the whole reason he wouldn't say anything. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. The victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure that news had already reached Virginia.
And the likely broadcast our dealings in court today, including the part about the Virginian cocoon.
Yeah, but... Like, I'm happy. I'm so happy this is the case, but I feel like we should have put him out of his misery earlier and told him about this. But if Maki doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Virginian police. Yes, 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 yes. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. Okay, this is good. This is 100% great. I just wish we would have said this to Maki earlier. But then again, I suppose, like... Okay, here's my reasoning as why they didn't say it. And you guys can agree with me or disagree with me. I think we didn't say it earlier because if he was a smuggler and he was helping and knew about the smuggling of the thing, then it would have implicated me even more. We needed something else to implicate Darian first. Is that right? Do you think that's the case? I think that might be the case. What do you guys think? I think that might be it. We're not going to find him guilty of murder here. Not now.
Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't accuse me.
Maybe the law doesn't allow it. But who's going to think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Maki Tobe.
Ah!
The cocoon smuggling, your entire plan? Maki Tobe knows everything. There's only one way out of this for him. And that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling. Which, you know what? Everyone deserves a little cocoon smuggling as a treat. Everybody. Don't worry there. I'll get you out of this country. What? I'll set you up someplace, a hidden mansion, real nice. You want a house made of cookies? Oh no, a house made of pianos. What's wrong with you, brother? Come on. This is clear evidence, by the way. Please! Don't talk! This is evidence. This is... Oh my Jesus Christ. Oh God. This is clear evidence, by the way. It's like a shark. This is clear evidence that he did this. That is clear evidence. Oh, we don't even need anything else. Him saying don't talk. Oh, that's... You look cooler now. Yeah, get him clavier. Get him with a guitar. Melt his face.
Darian, I consider that my last session with you.
We rocked.
I'm guessing we can treat out that outburst as a confession? Heh. Oh, he's laughing again. There's kind of a sick desperation in it now, though. Play the music. Yes!
Well, have you been listening to today's trial?
Yes.
And you'll talk. You'll tell this court everything.
Come on, Maki, you can do this. Yeah, that's why I think we didn't say it to him before, because if he did admit to smuggling, then it's over. It was over without any other evidence that it was Darian. He was put in prison. End of. Because that implicates him more. That's a motivation right there. If he admitted to smuggling, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense, actually. I didn't want it to turn out this way, but I'm not kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. I can. Everyone deserves a little bit of smuggling, a little bit of a treat, a little bit treat. Every little treat. God forbid, Maki has hobbies.
Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know. I see no reason why you should hesitate now.
I knew from beginning. I knew.
Maki.
Situation I cannot explain, but money, I need it.
Okay.
Very much money.
Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definite in our court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule, however.
It has to become apparent that not all things can be tried by this standard.
Should another case of this sort surface, we may have to consider an alternative system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Maki Tobe,
Yes.
I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. I'm sorry I tried to put you away in 5 minutes with no evidence. It was just... I had a long day. And with regards to the current charge for the murder of Miss Lithouse, this court is prepared to announce a verdict.
Oh my God! Look at this little sweetheart. Oh my God, how could you put him in prison? Let him smuggle a bit. Oh, let him smuggle a bit. Let him smuggle a bit.
I only lie, but you see truth, you find truth.
It's okay, you can lie a bit. It's okay.
That's our job, very well. This court finds the defendant Maki Tobe not.
Yes. Oh my God. I am in bits. I am destroyed. I am not a real person anymore. I am a lizard. Blah. I am a different person. Holy crap. Court is adjourned. I'm melting. You bet it's adjourned. You bet it's adjourned. July 10, 4:42 p.m. District Court defended. I am now a bokoblin. I wonder what'll happen to Maki. Well, he did smuggle the cocoon out of Virginia. Let him cook. I guess there'll be another trial here. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's 14 years old. Calm the frick down. Everyone in there. Judge.
Yes?
Calm down. You won the case. Calm down. Calm down right now.
You are being high.
Calm down. Okay, I'm calm. I'm calm. All's well that ends well. Is that? Yeah, it is. That is Phoenix. Phoenix, I've had a week. Phoenix, I've had a week. I owe you both my thanks. Lamaroa? Oh, Lamaroa. I have never felt such relief in my life. I am like literally like. Let me take a picture of how I'm sitting in this chair for you guys. Maybe I'll put it in the video if you guys want to see it. Maybe you don't want to see it. I don't know. Okay, let me put me. Maybe if that picture looks good, I'll put myself. I'll show you guys. If it looks bad, you're not seeing it. I'm like crouched. This is such a relief. Maki was your partner on the stage, your friend. Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do, yet something got a hold of him, something evil. I see that. It's not that bad. He just needed money. He just needed money. And he must pay for what he's... It's not that bad. Pay for what he's done. Like, he's a 14-year-old kid who needed money. Calm down. Everyone needs to calm down. I'm going to become president and give him a pardon. Is that not how it should be? No. I'm still sorry. Do not be sorry. You have given me courage. Courage? I'm considering an eye operation. What? It was my suggestion, actually. You mean you'll be able to see again? It's funny. I've always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Lamaro lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident? As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I fear that if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth I've been running from. I was scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense into here today. That's good to hear. She could feel your gaze unwavering, always looking straight at the truth. Heck yeah. As the light returns to my eyes, I think I'll take up painting. Painting? That's right, she's a landscape painter in sound after all. I'll paint the two of you. That'll be nice. I promise. That would be nice. Woohoo! I can't wait, Lamaroa. I owe you my thanks too, Apollo. Oh, getting the thanks from Phoenix, right? Oh my god, I'm so relieved. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy. I'm so happy this turned out okay. And getting thanks from you means a lot. Thanks, Mr. Wright, but for what? See, he's still his hero. You're reminding me I need to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. You have a secret mission? Right, your secret mission. Apollo, Trucy, I hope that we'll meet again someday. Sure. You bet, me too. How are you, Trucy? You feeling okay? This trial was crazy. And so, like a ballad, the trial... Can we not talk to Maki a bit? On and on until it came to an end. Thanks to the trial. The guitar serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have them catch the killer at the end. Oh, she's so sweet. Here's the thing. I wanted to talk to Maki at the end there. That was okay. That's the end of that trial. Can I say this right now? As a rating for a trial, I don't know what to rate it. I will say that it was the most off the wall in terms of evidence that I've seen so far. It was crazy. Everything kept changing. Everything. I don't even feel in the end we got like the most decisive evidence of a murder in the end. You know what I mean? The fact that not once that the recoil or the carrying of the body was brought up is crazy. I thought they'd bring it up at least once. But what I will say is this: at the end of the day, I was entertained. I was having a blast. And yes, it's a relief. And yes, towards the end, I got frustrated because that judge annoyed the hell out of me.
Oh, you better have some evidence, Apollo.
You better shut your mouth. You Dumbo. Dumbo Johnson with the gavel. Dumbo freak. Dumby. I should not be recording videos. I'm such in a euphoric state right now. This was such a great ending. I don't feel like in the end like that we really we got enough evidence to point towards him as the murderer, of course, and we got the motivation, all this stuff. We had all this stuff really, and that's the only person who really could have done it at this point. But I really feel like the judge should have apologized to Maki. And I think him saying he was going to change the way the court system is done was his apology, but he should have apologized just straight up. That's my opinion. I really think so. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for supporting the series as always. Thank you so much for being into this, because we're about to get into the final trial of this entire game, which is really, really, really interesting that we're going to be doing this. I'm actually really, really excited to actually try this out, to try this last trial out. Thank you so much to Tyfire 2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, Normal Cara, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, George Candelaria, Eskun, Yule, Radish, Fruity, Orange Bank, Summer Races, Death Trap, Ciabatta Bread, and Malcolm Conde. This was supposed to be 2 episodes because I record 2 episodes ahead now, but I think we'll do this as one big episode because it's the finale. And I think you guys are ready to see the finale of this trial. But yeah, the way I'll say it is I had fun. I think that on the did it drive me mad to say, it's like one of those things where it's like, hey, I'd give this a 7 out of 10 because it drove me crazy. But also at the same time, it's like, no, I'd rate it even higher because the drive me crazy parts meant the ending was even better. And I was actually having a blast anyway. I was having fun. And that's what this is all about, really. I'll see you guys for tomorrow's episode and for any future episodes that we're having. Tomorrow's episode will be the start of Trial 4. Wow.